Life, as we all know, is a journey. A beautiful, messy, and often perplexing one. Along the way, our interactions with others shape us, teaching us about kindness, resilience, and the importance of helping those in need. However, here's a hard truth to swallow. Not everyone deserves your help. Yes, this might sound harsh, but sometimes extending a hand can do more harm than good, both to you and to the person you're helping. Buddhist philosophy emphasizes compassion as a core value, but it also underscores the importance of wisdom, prajna, in discerning when compassion serves
the greater good and when it enables harm. Today we're going to delve into 8 types of people you should think twice about helping. This isn't about judgment or turning a cold shoulder. Instead, it's about discernment, understanding when your help uplifts and when it inadvertently enables.
Perpetual victim. The perpetual victim seems to carry an endless storm cloud over their head. Each day brings another crisis, another tale of being wronged by the world. Their stories are intricately woven with threads of misfortune, yet they rarely reflect on their own role in the narrative. They are drawn to sympathy, basking in the glow of others' compassion while perpetuating a cycle of blame and inaction. Buddhism teaches us the profound law of karma. Our present circumstances are often the ripples of past actions. To deny one's responsibility in life is to forego the opportunity for spiritual growth and liberation. The perpetual victim resists this awareness, clinging instead to the illusion that life happens to them rather than because of them. By doing so, they trap themselves in a karmic loop where lessons are repeated but never learned. When you extend a hand to such individuals, you may feel a fleeting sense of nobility, but watch closely. They don't just grasp your hand, they clutch at your energy, your time, your peace of mind. The initial act of helping may feel like an act of compassion, yet repeated attempts often reveal a different reality. Their pattern of behavior rarely shifts, no matter how much you offer advice, support, or tangible aid. They remain entrenched in their chaos, refusing accountability and rejecting change. This is not to suggest that you should abandon compassion. True compassion, as Buddha emphasized, is intertwined with wisdom. It requires the courage to discern when your help serves the greater good and when it inadvertently enables harm. Sometimes the most compassionate act is to allow someone the space to face their karma and take responsibility for their life. Without these moments of reckoning, transformation remains out of reach. So, what can you do? Recognize the pattern, set boundaries, offer kindness, but don't allow yourself to be consumed. Remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. By safeguarding your own peace and energy, you preserve the ability to help those truly open to growth. As Buddha said, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. Practicing discernment in your compassion is not only an act of self-care but a way to honor the sacred balance of giving and receiving. The chronic complainer, the eternal naysayer. These folks have an uncanny knack for finding the dark cloud in every silver lining. You could move mountains for them, yet they'll complain that the view isn't quite perfect. Their words often drip with discontent, overshadowing any positive energy in the room. You're left wondering how someone can so consistently overlook the beauty in life. Buddha taught that suffering arises from attachment to desires, expectations, and the need for things to align perfectly with one's own vision. Chronic complainers embody this attachment. They cling to their dissatisfaction not as a fleeting feeling but as a defining trait. Their fixation on what's wrong rather than what's right traps them in a self-made prison of suffering, spreading negativity to anyone who crosses their path. It's not just the relentless complaints that exhaust those around them, it's their refusal to seek solutions. For the chronic complainer, the act of voicing dissatisfaction isn't a call to action but a means of soliciting attention. They're not looking for answers, they're looking for an audience. Over time, their negativity becomes infectious, seeping into your own spirit. Their lamentations make you question your optimism, leaving you emotionally drained and second-guessing your own sense of joy. When faced with someone like this, pause and ask yourself, are they genuinely seeking change, or do they merely need a stage for their grievances? Offering them an empathetic ear might feel kind in the moment. But be cautious. Allowing their negativity to dominate the space can overshadow your own inner peace. In Buddhist philosophy, mindfulness teaches us to observe without attachment. By practicing mindfulness, you can engage with a chronic complainer without absorbing their discontent. Listen with compassion, but protect your inner serenity. Imagine their words as passing clouds in a vast sky, observe them, acknowledge them. But do not let them linger and block the light of your inner calm. Furthermore, set boundaries not as an act of rejection but as an act of preservation. You cannot be a source of endless validation for someone unwilling to grow. Gently encourage them to reflect on their own patterns, reminding them that joy comes not from external perfection but from inner acceptance. As the wise said, peace comes from within, do not seek it without. By maintaining your peace, you offer a quiet example of resilience and balance, showing them what's possible when one chooses gratitude over grievance. The entitled. Entitlement is a tricky beast, a deceptive mirage that convinces some that the world owes them not just kindness but absolute deference. These individuals stride through life as if the universe revolves around their needs, treating acts of generosity not as gifts but as their due. Your assistance isn't received with gratitude, it's met with expectation. And when they do acknowledge your efforts, it's often perfunctory, as though you've merely fulfilled an obligation. In Buddhist teachings, humility is elevated as a pathway to inner peace and enlightenment. Entitlement, in stark contrast, is a manifestation of the ego's delusions, a false sense of self-importance that blinds individuals to the interconnectedness of all beings. The Buddha taught that clinging to the illusions of permanence and superiority only leads to suffering. Those who feel entitled are trapped by their attachment to power, status, or privilege, unable to see the impermanence of their desires or the emptiness of their expectations. Helping someone with a deeply ingrained sense of entitlement can feel like trying to fill a bottomless pit. No matter how much you give, whether it's time, energy, or resources, it's never enough. Their demands grow, their appreciation wanes, and you're left questioning your own worth. This dynamic isn't just draining, it's unsustainable. Here's a hard but necessary truth: genuine relationships are built on mutual respect, gratitude, and reciprocity. When you continue to cater to entitlement, you're not fostering growth, you're enabling imbalance. The most compassionate act you can offer is to step back and allow them to face the reality of their expectations. By doing so, you create space for them to confront their ego and perhaps learn the invaluable lesson of humility. The Buddha once said, "Attachment leads to suffering." For the entitled, their attachment to privilege and expectation is a source of their dissatisfaction. For you, enabling this attachment can be a source of exhaustion. Instead, practice detachment, not from compassion but from the compulsion to overgive. Encourage self-reflection, but prioritize your own peace. After all, the most profound acts of kindness often lie not in indulging someone's ego but in guiding them gently back to balance and self-awareness. The habitual liar, the art of deceit is their forte. Habitual liars are masters of illusion, weaving stories so intricate and emotionally charged that they pull you in before you even realize it. They prey on your empathy, using it not as a bridge to connection but as a tool to manipulate and gain. Each word is carefully chosen, each expression designed to elicit trust, only to shatter it when the truth comes to light. In Buddhist teachings, the concept of right speech is central to the Eightfold Path. It calls for honesty, integrity, and speech that uplifts rather than harms. When someone indulges in habitual lying, they stray far from this principle, creating a ripple effect of mistrust and suffering. By enabling their deceit, even unknowingly, you may inadvertently support their departure from the path of truth and self-awareness. When the veil of their deception inevitably lifts, it stings. The sense of betrayal cuts deep, leaving you questioning not only their motives but also your own judgment. Helping a habitual liar often leads to the erosion of trust, both in others and in yourself. This isn't merely about the resources wasted, it's about the emotional toll, the slow unraveling of your peace. So, how can you navigate such situations? First, recognize the signs. Pay attention to inconsistencies, overly dramatic narratives, or patterns of manipulation. Understand that compassion doesn't mean tolerating dishonesty. In fact, true compassion involves encouraging honesty and accountability, both in others and in yourself. By embodying these qualities, you set a powerful example. Buddha once said, "Three things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth." This timeless wisdom reminds us that while lies may cloud the sky temporarily, the light of truth inevitably breaks through. Protect your peace by stepping away from webs of deceit. This doesn't mean abandoning compassion but rather practicing it with discernment. Offer your kindness, but do so from a place of strength and clarity, ensuring that your actions guide others toward growth rather than enabling harm. In the end, walking the path of truth isn't just about speaking honestly, it's about living with integrity and fostering environments where authenticity thrives. By recognizing and addressing habitual dishonesty, you honor your own values and contribute to a more truthful, harmonious world. The Opportunist. These individuals are smooth talkers, masters of charm, and experts at making you feel like you're part of something grand. They have a way of wrapping their requests in flattery, making their needs sound urgent and your role in fulfilling them indispensable. For a moment, it's easy to believe you're part of something meaningful, until the moment they vanish. Their promises dissolve like mist in the morning sun, leaving you with nothing but an empty feeling of having been used. In Buddhist philosophy, the principle of right intention reminds us to act with sincerity and integrity. Opportunists, however, operate from a place of self-interest, prioritizing their gain above all else. They stray far from this principle, creating ripples of suffering for others while feeding the illusion that their happiness depends on what they can take from the world. Yet this approach only deepens their inner emptiness, as the pursuit of self-serving goals rarely leads to lasting fulfillment. Opportunists view people as stepping stones rather than companions, valuing what you can do for them rather than who you are. This mindset not only devalues relationships but also sows seeds of distrust and disconnection. To protect yourself, it's crucial to recognize the warning signs early: vague promises that never materialize, actions that don't align with their words, and a consistent pattern of taking without giving. Saying no to an opportunist isn't just about self-preservation, it's also an act of compassion. By setting boundaries, you encourage them to confront their motives and reflect on their actions. In doing so, you invite them to explore the Buddhist principle of interdependence, the understanding that true happiness arises not from exploiting others but from fostering mutual respect and connection. The Buddha taught that grasping and craving are the roots of suffering. Opportunists, driven by their relentless craving for personal gain, exemplify this truth. By stepping back, you not only protect your peace but also create space for them to realize that their approach to life is unsustainable. When you prioritize sincerity and reciprocity in your relationships, you align yourself with the path of integrity and wisdom, paving the way for connections that uplift rather than drain. The drama seeker. Some people seem unable to exist without turmoil. They thrive on conflict, drama, and emotional upheaval, turning every minor incident into a grand spectacle. Their lives resemble an endless soap opera, and their greatest satisfaction comes from drawing others into their storms. They craft narratives where they are the victim, the hero, or the wronged party, always at the center of the chaos. In Buddhist philosophy, the value of equanimity, a state of mental calmness and balance, is a cornerstone of inner peace. Drama seekers, however, operate in direct opposition to this principle. They disrupt the harmony around them, pulling others into their emotional maelstrom like a stone thrown into still water. Their actions send ripples far beyond the initial splash, unsettling the tranquility of everyone they touch. Helping a drama seeker may feel like an act of kindness at first, but it often fuels their need for attention and control. Every attempt to calm their storm becomes an invitation for them to create another. They're not looking for solutions, they're looking for participants. By stepping into their narrative, you risk losing your own balance, becoming entangled in their chaos. To engage with such individuals wisely, you must practice detachment. Buddhist teachings remind us to observe without becoming attached. Imagine their drama as a storm cloud passing through the sky, acknowledge its presence. But do not let it overshadow the light of your inner peace. Set firm boundaries, not out of rejection but as an act of self-preservation. Offer your compassion, but recognize when your involvement begins to enable their destructive patterns. As the Buddha wisely taught, peace comes from within, do not seek it without. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it is essential. By maintaining your calm, you not only safeguard your well-being but also set an example of stability. This quiet strength can inspire others to seek balance in their own lives, showing them that harmony is possible even amidst the noise. Ultimately, life's storms will always come and go, but when you choose not to let a drama seeker pull you into their whirlwind, you reclaim your power to navigate life with grace and serenity. Let them stir their tempests if they must, but remain calm in your own center, grounded and unshaken by the chaos around you. The taker. Takers wear the guise of friendship, kindness, or kinship, but their actions reveal a pattern of relentless self-interest. They are masters of extracting time, resources, and emotional energy without ever offering anything in return. Their charm, often subtle yet calculated, can disarm you into believing that their needs are urgent, their intentions genuine. But over time, a painful realization dawns: you are giving endlessly to a well that offers nothing back. In the teachings of Buddhism, generosity is a virtue, but it must be practiced with mindfulness and discernment. The Buddha emphasized that true giving arises from a pure heart, untainted by attachment or expectation. However, giving to someone who takes without reciprocating disrupts the sacred balance. It creates a one-sided dynamic that drains your inner resources and fosters dependency rather than growth. Imagine a tree whose branches are repeatedly stripped of their leaves by a relentless wind. Without the chance to replenish itself, the tree weakens. Similarly, giving without balance leaves you depleted, unable to nurture your own well-being or to share with those who truly value your generosity. Real relationships thrive on mutual respect, reciprocity, and gratitude. When you find yourself constantly giving while receiving nothing in return, it's a signal to pause and reflect. Are you enabling dependency? Are you sacrificing your energy to sustain an imbalance? The answers lie within your own sense of peace and fulfillment. If giving feels like a burden rather than a joy, it may be time to set boundaries. Setting boundaries with takers isn't an act of rejection, it is an act of self-care and compassion. By stepping back, you give them the opportunity to confront their own patterns and take responsibility for their actions. As the Buddha taught, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. By valuing your own well-being, you honor the spirit of true generosity. Furthermore, practicing discernment in your giving helps you reserve your energy for connections that uplift and nourish you. Seek relationships where the flow of giving and receiving is natural and mutual, like a stream that refreshes both sides of its banks. This harmony reflects the Buddhist principle of interdependence, the understanding that our well-being is interconnected with the well-being of others. Ultimately, life is too precious to waste on relationships that drain your spirit. By recognizing the takers in your life and choosing to restore balance, you free yourself to invest in relationships that inspire, uplift, and reciprocate. In doing so, you align your actions with the path of wisdom and compassion, fostering a life filled with genuine connection and enduring peace. The manipulator. Manipulators are perhaps the most insidious among us. They don't just ask for help, they twist the narrative to make you feel as though helping them is your duty, your moral obligation. Their arsenal is vast: guilt, shame, emotional blackmail, each tool carefully chosen to erode your boundaries and tether you to their needs. Their mastery lies in their subtlety, in the way they turn your compassion into a weapon against you. In Buddhist teachings, the concept of right action within the Noble Eightfold Path reminds us that our actions must come from a place of clarity and virtue, not coercion or manipulation. True compassion is offered freely and joyfully, it does not spring from guilt or obligation. When we help manipulators out of a sense of duty imposed by their tactics, we stray from the path of mindful giving. Instead of fostering growth, we inadvertently deepen their dependency and perpetuate their harmful patterns. Recognizing manipulation is the first step in reclaiming your peace. It often starts with those nagging feelings of discomfort, a sense that your kindness is being exploited rather than appreciated. Pay attention to these signals. Manipulators are skilled at creating confusion, making you question your own intentions and self-worth. They twist words, turn tables, and leave you feeling like the guilty party, even when you've done nothing wrong. The Buddha emphasized the importance of boundaries, not as barriers to keep others out but as sacred lines to protect our well-being. When faced with a manipulator, setting firm boundaries isn't an act of rejection, it's an act of self-respect. By standing firm, you remind yourself that your worth is not tied to another's approval or demands. You give them the opportunity to confront their own behavior and take responsibility for their choices. True kindness empowers, it doesn't enslave. By refusing to enable manipulation, you offer a gift far greater than immediate help. You offer the possibility of self-reflection and genuine growth. The Buddha taught, you cannot calm the storm, so stop trying. What you can do is calm yourself. The storm will pass. When you disengage from a manipulator's tactics, you become the calm center amidst their chaos, a living example of strength and serenity. Ultimately, helping someone should uplift both the giver and the receiver. When you protect your peace and act with discernment, you create space for authentic compassion to flourish. Manipulators may resist at first, but your unwavering boundaries plant seeds of awareness. In time, they may come to understand that control is a hollow victory and that true connection comes from mutual respect and honesty. Until then, hold your ground. Your kindness is a treasure, offer it wisely. Helping others is a beautiful act of humanity, but discernment is crucial. By choosing wisely where to invest your energy, you're not just protecting yourself, you're also ensuring your help truly uplifts those who receive it. As Buddha taught, compassion without wisdom can lead to harm. So, as you navigate life, remember, your time and energy are precious. Save them for those who genuinely seek growth, change, and gratitude. Because in helping the right people, you're not just making a difference, you're also nurturing your own peace and well-being.
Thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into Buddhist wisdom and its application in daily life. Until next time, may you find peace, wisdom, and compassion in your journey.